You know, it's one thing to build a hot rod. It's another thing to build a car to compete for an award like the Ridler Award at the Detroit Autorama. And Impression was built for that purpose. And it's the bottom of the car. When you're building a hot rod just to go drive and enjoy, you really don't care about the bottom and how well it's detailed. But there is more work in the bottom of this car than all of the top. As difficult as it was to hand build the body and do all the details, the same detail is treated to every single part in the bottom of this car. And starting with the whole idea of not wanting to have one piece bolted to another piece unless the first piece is cut and puzzle pieced for the second piece, so that every gap is flush fit, just like a door gap or a hood gap on a car. The surfaces are the same and there's just a gap. So you can follow that through on all of the sheet metal, the way that it fits from the body to the fender, or the fender to the running board, the way that the running boards and the fenders fit to the body itself, the way that we have these little access panels that are all fit to the car itself, even the differential and hiding all of the bolts that were there. We've got pieces that cover that. We've got an exhaust system, the tip that fits into that. And as I've said before, the soft-sided triangle, every tube or bar that we could actually put that into, we did that. And it blends from the soft-sided triangle back to a circle where it's going in and being functional. It's hard to even know where to start, but even all of the tubes as they came in, you know, just tube to a tube being welded, rather than it just being a hard angle or a weld, we took U-bends, cut those sections out, and there's 4 U-bends on every one of these joints back over here. And then instead of the tube just going up and being square to the floor, we made these collars that they dropped onto the frame. We bolted the body onto the frame, and then we siliconed those to the bottom of the frame itself, or the bottom of the body. And it's all those little details that each piece is painted, polished, finished before it's assembled, so that once we're in the show like the Detroit Autorama, there's nothing that can be knocked or, you know, lose points for, because every single piece is addressed. As you get up into the front of the frame, that same soft-sided triangle is a part of the frame itself. We've got 2 sections, a cross member. Now the motor mounts, rather than it being, do we do it motor color or do we do it chassis color? We use the motor mount as a separate piece that has both colors with a pinstripe surrounding it, so you don't have an odd color break. It actually blends together. Even the oil pan on the transmission, we didn't want to see the side of it where you actually normally will see the gasket and the fit of the oil pan to the transmission. We scanned the original tranny pan and then designed a new lip that covers up the side of the transmission. And on the top, it's got that same thing. It's flush and it's just like a door gap. We didn't want to be able to see that it's an LS1 motor, so we built these covers. Everything is hidden, so you can't tell what the motor is. You look at the exhaust tubes, they're all black chromed. And then as it goes up into the flange itself, that's polished stainless. Well, that was packed with a heat absorbing compound as it was welded, so it wouldn't discolor. Even the shaft for the steering, you look at that, it's not like just a regular U-joint. Everything is smooth and clean and polished and finished. You can see where the U-joint is here, but it was all welded and made into look like one piece. Going into the front, you can see all the covers, the little details. Even the pulleys have covers on the front of them. Everything is machined to match the same as the all the knobs on the interior. That same detail is on all the front of the pulleys. It's just fun little details. You look at the A-arms. Now, the geometry of the A-arm is a C4 Corvette, but we redesigned it, cut those out of billet. I didn't want to see a nut and bolt holding the shocks on, so there's a little detail here that you can see. We made a tool that spins that off, and once that comes off, there's an Allen bolt that goes in there, and we can pull the Allen bolt to get the shock out. Now, we also didn't want to see all the threads on the bottom of the shocks when you adjust it. So once we adjusted the shocks, then we made these collars that cover all those threads. It's the little details like that that make a huge difference when you're at a show. When you look at the exhaust itself, we've got these hangers that are coming from the floor. Now, actually inside, underneath that hanger, is the section where we're split from one part to the other. Now, it also has a hole in it, so they slide together, but they're also timed so this won't spin, because it's got a round notch that goes into that hanger, and they're slid together, and then the tubes themselves are sliding one within the other, and there's silicone O-rings, high temperature silicone O-rings. They're stopping anything from leaking, sound, or any condensation that's built up in that exhaust. Everything's got to go out the back, but it's all fit. You don't see any bolts finished on that. Finished inside, outside. You look at the way that the tranny mount is fit into here. Those little covers will come out. They'll expose the bolts. You can pull that out, drop it down. Now there's a tranny cooler, but you don't want to just look up at a tranny cooler, so we made a complete housing over that. Finished it, but you can't see how it's even bolted in. All the bolts are hidden and they're on the top.